So we can start again. The theme of this roundtable is Anthropology and Education and WCAA. We will explore what we are doing in different countries. We try to compare what we are doing, what are the needs, what are the experiences, the strategies, and also what are the challenges, the difficulties we are facing. So first of all, we can ask each of you what are the educational needs within your context, within your association, within your country, the educational needs that you would like to explore in your network, in your working group, in your association. So we can ask first two representatives of the EASA TAN, the Teaching Anthropology Network. We have Lorenzo, Cañás Bottos, and also Jakob Krause-Jensen. I don't know if the pronunciation is okay. We can start from Lorenzo. Lorenzo Cañás Bottos is professor of social anthropology at the Norwegian University of Science and Technology. He contributed to anthropology teaching handbooks in Argentina and Estonia, as well as co-editor with Jakob Krause-Jensen and Johannes Manos of the forthcoming Educating Anthropologists in the Contemporary World. His ethnographic research and the publication cover Latin America, American Mennonite colonies, the Irish northern Irish border, Levantine immigrants in Argentina, and Iberian pig producers in Spain. Jakob is also part of the European Anthropology Network, European Teaching Anthropology Network. Is an anthropologist and associate professor at the Danish School of Education in Aarhus University. His research focuses on the way ethnographic methods and anthropological theory can be used to understand organization and the life within them in critical and creative ways. So we ask both of them. We can begin from Lorenzo, and then we can hear about Jakob, what we are doing in Teaching Anthropology Network. Please, Lorenzo, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Giovanna. Well, in terms of the I have to think in terms of which hat do I put on. Right now, as a member of the TAN board and former part of the steering committee, and not in terms of Norway, because I cannot represent Norway. I don't have any kind of mandate. I can tell you about things in Norway, but I am not the representative of Norway in any of the two organizations that are meeting here, which is the World Council or the EASA. In terms of TAN, we have been having, I joined in 2019, I think, or 20, right about COVID days. And since then, we have been quite active in having meetings at least once a month, organizing this kind of webinars and events between the meetings of the EASA. And together with Jakob and Johannes, as part of, one of the outcomes of these two of the webinars was this book that will be coming out in 2026 in May, that we will hopefully present in the next EASA. So basically, what the network does is it keeps anthropologists interested in issues of teaching, in contact with each other, and organizing this kind of events where you are participating now. I don't know how much more I can say about the TAN.
Okay, Jakob, thank you, Lorenzo. Jakob, What can you tell about
Yes,
the teaching anthropology? You were the former convener of the
Convenor, yeah.
network, yes, for maybe 4 years.
Yes.
So you know well what.
I know well, and I commend you for taking over, Giovanna, and for organizing this wonderful conference. But I would just want to add, because I'm representing the same organization as Lorenzo and you, I just want to add that it's striking when publishing this work, it reflects a publication of 20 years ago. And at that point, the network was very different because it was concerned with Europe. It was just the books published on teaching across Europe reflected a kind of an optimism in the wake of the fall of the Berlin Wall, a kind of globalization, and the concern was neoliberal reform of the universities. And one of the happier outcomes, which is reflected in the volume, is that partly due to technology, the European network has expanded so that it no longer covers only Europe, but we have representatives on the board from India and from the US, and so it's really much more extensive, and that's of course only a good thing. The worries are greater, though. The global worries that we face are much greater, and then it's also reflected. You know, it's not neoliberalism; it's autocratic regimes in different parts of the world. Of course climate change and a lot of pending global issues which is we need to face. A concern of mine, which just to finish off, is generative AI, and how generative AI is going to impact the way we teach, also particularly anthropology, which is arguably a very slow discipline, and generative AI will speed up things, and that's contradicting on the very general level what anthropology is all about. So can you use these technologies for educational purposes? That's the big question that I think we must face. Yes.
Yes, thank you, Jakob. So you can show how in Teaching Anthropology Network we have started since some years ago. We have started to open the network to other countries, and there was the need of also to look outside what was happening outside Europe, and I think that the volume you have edited, you are editing, reflects also this changement that there was in the last 5 or 6 years. So I think this is an important achievement by the Teaching Anthropology Network, and also the need of documenting, because for some years there were not documentation, special documentation, except what was done in workshops, in the last workshops in Teaching Anthropology Network. Now with this volume, you have collected some achievements that we could reach in this period. Okay, now we can ask also Maria Menegaki and Eleni Binaki. Both are from the Greek Association, member of the Social Anthropologists Greece, SKAE, we say like this. Maria Menegaki, PhD in Social and Cultural Anthropology from the Autonomous University of Barcelona, with a thesis on alternative schools and educational projects have taught undergraduate courses in anthropology and education, member of SKAE, one of the coordinators and members of the special group on anthropology. Eleni Binaki is also Greek. Both are hosting us here in this wonderful land in Lesbos. She's a member as well of the Association of Social Anthropologists Greece. She has been participating in the group with a special interest on education since 2021. And she participated in the presentation of an educational program which was created by members of SKAE in schools in 2022. So it's a new group, as I have understood, and both and the entire group is willing to learn from other associations from other countries. But they are also trying to interpret what are the needs of this country, and in particular in Greece. So the floor is yours, Mary. Come, Maria.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. It's okay. I understand.
We can see you.
Yes.
They can see you.
And can you also hear me? Perfect. Yeah.
Can you see Maria?
Yeah, they can because I have my camera as well.
Okay, okay, yes.
Okay, so
And in the meantime, also welcome to Tiana, Chen, because I can see.
So yeah, Giovanna, you're right. The group is quite new, so this is why we think it's very important as well to be among.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you very well.
I have to come closer. Is it okay now?
It's
bad?
better. Yes.
Better. Okay. Yeah, so what I was telling is that it's quite important for us to be among you because we are indeed a quite new group. So we hope that we will get inspired and learn from things you have done in your own context. Just represent the group, but we are more people, of course, and we have discussed these questions with a working group we formed, especially for this roundtable. And it was very interesting as well for us to collectively reflect on these questions, and happy to be part of this roundtable. We hope that it will be the first among many, many others. So regarding the first question, I think that we think that one of the biggest needs in Greece is to bring anthropological perspectives into education, because in teacher training programs, the focus is not so much in cultural and social dimensions of education, but on pedagogical and psychological aspects. So we have noticed that there is an interest in these topics from many teachers, but they don't really have the tools to actually understand the cultural backgrounds of their students, etc. So we think that we need more spaces where educators can engage with ideas from the anthropology of education. And at the same time, the social sciences in Greece are not playing a very important role in school curricula. And subjects like anthropology and sociology are marginalized, like they are not, they are often excluded from the official, let's say, program. Other disciplines are valued more. So since they are not presented as relevant areas of knowledge, many students are disencouraged from continuing their the university studies in these fields. And also this means that they have fewer opportunities to develop critical perspectives and understand the world from different perspectives as well. So yeah, this is what we think we are the most urgent needs, and these are like the topics we mostly discuss among us.
Now we can hear something else about Eleni Binaki. So she's a member of the same association, and the needs of confrontation with other association came just from Maria and this Greek association, and from Antonella. I remember the first discussion about this need came just from them. So it's important not to be alone to face the difficulties. We are not trying in this round table to decide or evaluate the best experiences, but we are trying to understand how we can work together and learn from each other. So, Eleni, please, the floor is yours now. Can you open the...
Yes, thank you. And hi to everyone. I don't have something special to add. I agree with Maria. In order not to take time from the discussion, I can speak more about my experience participating in the presentations of our educational program in schools. And it is a fact that the focus in schools is in psychology and pedagogy, and the perspectives of the anthropological thinking is marginalized, and that's what we have. We want to change with our programs and our presence in schools.
Yes, I think this is very, very important because in some countries there are more challenges than in others. So we can learn from each other. Maria, did you want to add something before? No, no. Okay, so now we can introduce Antonella Tassinari. She is a social anthropologist and professor at the Federal University of Santa Catarina in Brazil. She has conducted research since 1990 with indigenous people of the Waka Basin, focusing on rituals, education, and childhood. She coordinates the Education, Science, and Technology Commission of the Brazilian Anthropological Association. Antonella, please.
Thank you, Giovanna. It's a pleasure to be here to meet Maria Menegaki and Eleni. We have been chatting for a long time. And it's a pleasure also to meet Lorenzo and Jakob and Abhit. And I'm very happy to be with you in this term conference. And I think it's very important, this initiative to create a network of commissions of education in anthropological associations. I think we have lots of things to share, and listening from you, I see many common problems or common subjects. We have a lot to share. About my association, Brazilian Anthropological Association, we have been dealing with some problems or some questions that has to do about our career, our anthropological career. Our association is a scientific and academic association. We just promotes research, teaching, the dissemination of anthropological knowledge in Brazil, but we are not a regulatory body. Unlike other professional councils in fields such as medicine, psychology, engineering, law, they have councils and they can regulate the profession. Our association does not regulate or license professional practice. So it's very important to take care of the courses of anthropology, because anthropologists are formed in these courses of anthropology. But we are not we don't accredit or approve undergraduate or graduate programs. In Brazil, the recognition and accreditation of academic degrees are the responsibility of the Ministry of Education. So our association, we don't have the power to accreditate these degrees, but we have we try to take care. We try to we try to observe, and I think this is an important question or issue we are challenging nowadays, because in the last 20 years, we started to have undergraduate courses of anthropology. Until 2000, until the beginning of the century, we just have anthropologists formed in graduate degrees, master or PhD. So if you have a degree of anthropology in graduate level, we must act or work as an anthropology. And now we have from the beginning of this century, more than 20 courses of anthropology in undergraduate level. And these are the courses we are looking for, and we have some power to regulate these courses. The main problem is about more than 50 courses of anthropology in online courses that we don't even know what's happening when they are offered, and that's an effort, a big effort. The former commission from the last 2 years, they have done a research trying to looking for when anthropologists have been studying in Brazil actually nowadays. So I think it's a big problem we have now, and we are trying to have some kind of power to work with this.
Yes, so the problem is that to find a way to be more present.
I don't hear you very well, Giovanna. It's very...
Okay, can you hear me now?
Better.
Yes, okay. So the problem is to have more space for anthropology as in Greece, even if I know that the Anthropological Association has inside a working group about education since a long time, but we have always to struggle to have more space and more importance in your contest. Now we would like to know something about South Africa. We are happy to have not only European countries, but also we looked for some representative from Africa and South Africa in particular, and also from India. From South Africa, we have Dr. Tian Chen, Executive Council Member of the South African Association, ASNA, and he is also a communication strategist in the World Anthropological Union. So when we need to take care of communication worldwide, we have to ask him, and he he helped a lot also to spread out the communication about this conference. So we have to thank him as a communication officer of the World Anthropological Union, and we would like to know what he is doing in South Africa, where last year the South African Association hosted the WOW, the World Anthropological Union 2024 Congress in Johannesburg, and that's the place where I met Tian for the first time. And I liked also, I remember one song that yes, he sang at the end of the World Congress, and I thought this would be a wonderful way to catch the public who does not know what is anthropology. Because I like creative ways, and also music is a creative way and can be part of education. So now, Tian Chen can tell us better than me what it can do for education in that country. Please.
Thank you, Giovanna. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Huge apologies for arriving a few minutes late, and thank you, Giovanna, for the reminder, because I confused the time difference down here in South Africa. But here I am, and I have a slide to share. Can everybody see the slides and see me and hear me fine? Thank you very much. Yes. So today I'm here to introduce you to the work we do as an association here in Southern Africa. Our association is Anthropology Southern Africa. I've been with the council for 4 years now, and but the council has a long history. What we do here in Southern Africa is that we are a professional association for all anthropologists in 7 countries in Southern Africa, and we represent members in multiple Southern African countries and organize the largest anthropological union conferences, including last one's World Congress, and we publish a peer-reviewed journal called Anthropology Southern Africa. And when that's translated into our daily activities, we are very active in promoting anthropological research and knowledge through our conferences, and we're very vibrant social media presence on Instagram and LinkedIn. And also, this is part of the reason for this is we have a very young audience here, and many of our members are young scholars as well as postgraduate students, and many undergraduate students are very interested in joining our association as well, for the sense of community. As we have a conference every year, people gather together and to learn about research on many different tracks. But at the same time, we also provide a platform for academic publishing and mentorship. We have a Monica Wilson Prize awarded to 1 PhD student every year, and the Elaine Salo Prize awarded to an honor student. So for wherever your level is, we have something to encourage you to keep writing and researching. Anthropology Southern Africa also provide ethical guidelines for our region, and in our guideline, I think it's one of the first guidelines to mention that it requires 5 yearly revisions. Although in reality, it's been very difficult to do that, we do bring the discussion of revising the ethical guidelines to our annual conference every year, so we can see potential directions we can go with the ethical guidelines. The key challenges we're facing, because in Southern Africa, this is historically an area where everybody is a research subject, and now people are becoming researchers, but universities have a lot of suspicion about the discipline still. So that's one of the challenges we are facing. Capacity building, we are very much lack of resources, like everywhere else where the resources are going into STEAM subjects. Social science in general is a threat, particularly anthropology in Southern Africa, where we have many people working in sociology department, gender studies, area study kind of track. But we are trying to also at the same time make a diversity effort, because now the Southern Africa Association is very much of a South Africa association because of the resources. We are trying to engage more and reaching out to more underrepresented universities and countries, and we are very happy that we now have council members also from I believe other Southern Africa countries, not only South Africa. Our president currently is originally from Nigeria. So yeah, you're very welcome to take a look at our website or journal, as well as our social media, and get in touch with us for any questions. Thank you very, very much, and look forward to our discussion later. Thank you. Giovanna, you're muted.
Okay, sorry. So now we can hear what they are doing in India, in the Indian Anthropological Society. Abhijit Gua is part of this association. He is former professor in anthropology, Vidyasagar University, Midnapore, West Bengal in India. So we can hear his experience and also before the experience, what are the needs in your country? What you think can be the main needs in your association? Please, Abhijit, can you open the microphone? The microphone is closed. Maybe in the bottom there is yes, okay.
Can you hear me?
Perfect. Yes.
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 Can you
now
hear me?
We can hear you. Yes.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I'm really happy that I have been participating in this very interesting roundtable in which you have invited me. Actually, I am trying to answer the roundtable issues and questions which you have raised, and I have prepared an abstract of what I will be talking here now. So this has already been sent to you. My focus is mainly on students, because I was basically a teacher and I'm still is, although I have retired for about 9 years. I have been teaching anthropology since 1985 at a university, but I was taught in one of the oldest universities of India, and it was the oldest, it has the oldest anthropology department as well. As you know, that anthropology in India is a very, very old subject. The first department of anthropology was established at University of Calcutta as early as 1919-20. So it's a very old university, and anthropology in India has a very good tradition of practicing field work in different kinds of situations. People have an idea that anthropologists in India only study the tribal communities, the so-called tribes, but this is not true. This is not historically true. Anthropologists have been studying problems of nation building, now currently climate change, environmental issues, and all these kinds of things, various political issues are also being studied by anthropologists. Now, my focus is, as I have said already, that my focus is on the students, because students are our future. So what I have learned in teaching anthropology for 3 decades is can be summarized, and it nicely fits with your questions also, that what are the educational needs of my country. Now, a country like India, which is a very culturally diverse country, compared to that, the kind of potential anthropology has, the spread of anthropology in India is not that much uh, uh, speedy, I would say. Nowadays, many new anthropology departments are being opened, and it's a sign of hope. But in a country like India, we need a lot of more attention from the government towards anthropology departments in India. First of all, we need field work, we need support for field work from the government, because non-governmental agencies, they have their own agenda, and they will not support, at least in India, uh, for educational purposes. It is the government support on which we depend a lot. So what we need, particularly for social cultural anthropology, I am a social cultural anthropologist, is support for field work. Support for field work is very, very important, because in almost all the anthropology courses in the various departments spread over India, field work is compulsory. A student has to undergo compulsory field work at least for 15 days at the undergraduate level, and more at the postgraduate level. So for that, the students need fieldwork grant, and this should be, this is one of the major uh, needs of uh, anthropology in India. And for the other two branches of anthropology in India, there is one sign of hope, that whenever anthropology departments are opened, at least the 3 branches of anthropology are taught: social cultural anthropology, prehistory, and physical anthropology. And the Indian focus is always on the holistic approach of studying human beings from the anthropological perspective. So here, Indian anthropological societies, in India, we have 2 uh, very strong anthropological associations. One is Indian Anthropological Society, which is almost 50 years old, and the other is India. Its headquarters is located in Calcutta, and the other is the Indian Anthropological Association, and that is based in New Delhi. Now, both these associations publish very good journals, peer-reviewed journals. The Indian Anthropological Society publishes Journal of the Indian Anthropological Society, and the Indian Anthropologist from Delhi publishes Indian Anthropologist. Now, these 2 journals, these 2 peer-reviewed journals, are very, very important in uh, spreading anthropological education in India. So the second thing is the students, the presence of students while we revise our syllabi, while we revise our courses. This is an urgent need because we should hear the students' voices. So there should be some mechanisms, and Indian anthropological societies can play a great role. They can be conduits, they can be channels between the universities on the one hand and uh, government on the other in mobilizing funds, fieldwork grants, and above all, popularizing anthropology through various seminars, workshops, uh, etc., etc. And this could also be held online. So the 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 revision of syllabi and the revision of teaching methods are the two important needs, educational needs of anthropologists of anthropology in India. Now you can ask me about my experiences and strategies which I have developed during my teaching career in my own contexts. The first strategy I developed was I organized uh, seminar classes, although it was not in the syllabi always. I organized seminar classes in which I initiated the students to pick up some problem from their own locality. And you will be surprised to know that the students showed much interest when they were allowed to speak of their own locality, like any other human being. Now, picking up a problem in your own locality and looking the problem through anthropological lens should cross-cut each other, and here lies the important magic by which we can do a lot regarding the popularization of anthropology.
Okay, Abjit, I think we have a good idea of the complexity of the situation in India. It's a very complex situation. I was in India 2 years ago for the World Congress. And I know how alive is anthropology, but also there are complex dynamics you have to face. So thank you for your contribution. I would like, so we have understood in the first round, what are the educational needs in your context, in your association. And now I would like to know what strategies you can develop or which experiences have already been done in your context. So we can begin again from Lorenzo and Jakob, who maybe have to add something about the experiences and the strategies that can be developed in the teaching anthropology network and in Europe in general. Have you something to add, Lorenzo?
Well, one issue that keeps coming up is the issue of reaching to new audiences, and the audience that we seem to, and I think that there are two big ones. Then we can start fragmenting it. But one is high school, pre-university education, sort of seeing how, this varies on a country-to-country basis.
Please, who is not speaking, better to close the microphone. Otherwise, Abjit, maybe you have the microphone open. If you close the microphone, it's better. We can hear better Lorenzo.
I can hear him very well.
Okay, so I was saying that I think that the bigger audiences are on the one hand, high schools, and then on the other hand, anthropology taught to other professions, as a sort of secondary, like an elective course for other disciplines. I think that Jakob can say a lot on that front. So I would probably leave that one to Jakob. But what I can say is that at least in the case in Norway, there is in high schools currently a subject that is called anthropology and sociology, or sociology and anthropology, and it's sort of a mixture between the two, where anthropology is the smaller part of it, but the book was, the main books were not written with anthropologists. They were written either by sociologists or historians. And usually teachers have a big degree of leeway into what they teach and how they teach. From my university, we try to reach to all the high schools in our district, in our school district, and we organized a series of meetings with teachers of sociology and anthropology to see how we could cooperate better. But that helps that the discipline is already present. That's very different when the discipline is not even present there. And what I was mentioning yesterday in the other panel, it has to do, I think, into how do we make anthropology relevant to the general public, how to inform the general public that anthropology has something to contribute. There are some really good examples. We have from Margaret Mead in the US to Darcy Ribeiro in, these are historical examples. Darcy Ribeiro in Brazil. In Brazil, I know that anthropologists have a very privileged positioning in the media. They are often also called to comment. And in Norway also, there are, so I think that that's probably one of the first steps to increase our outreach, and then out of that we can start a coordinated move, or after that we can start thinking in terms of, okay, how to make the whole population have at least one course in anthropology in their high school years.
So Lorenzo, I fully agree with you about the teaching in schools and also involving more the public. Jakob, do you want to add something about profession?
Yes, because as Lorenzo said, that's pretty much what I'm doing. I'm teaching in a department of education, and I'm teaching in a program which is a candidate program which caters to people with a professional background, be they social workers, nurses, teachers, etc. They attend this course because they're interested in anthropology, and we have a lot of people are interested. And of course, how do we make the subject relevant? Because they will return to their working lives, so they need something. And usually what I tell them when they start is that anthropology it's research-based, which means that it's nurtured by doubt, systematic doubt. And usually they would end their assignment in their professional degrees by endorsing some pedagogical tool, or they would end their assignment. In anthropology, they would end their assignment with good questions. So the point of anthropology, and the point, as is the point of research, is to honor the good question, and to honor the question as, a new question which nobody had asked before, but which everyone would agree is a good question. That could very likely be the end of their thesis, but they should use anthropological theory and methods to discover those questions. That's briefly what my ambition in the education is.
Yes, thank you, Jakob. Now we can hear the experience, what Maria and Eleni say about these experiences and strategies in Greece.
Yeah, I hope I can be seen better now. It's the internet. Maybe I can. I think I will. It's okay. Maybe I will not be seen for a while, but we'll get back. Okay, perfect. Okay, so it was nice to hear actually that there is a sociology and anthropology course in high schools, because in Greece that's not the case. We only have social and civic education, and the contribution of anthropology is minimum in this course, and most times it is not even taught by anthropologists. In our context, what previous members of our group have tried to do is to develop an educational program. It was titled «Τι είναι κοινωνική ανθρωπολογία», but what is social anthropology? And it was implemented in high schools. It was addressed to high school students and educators, particularly to make them aware of university studies in anthropology. Eleni was part of the implementation phase of this program, so she will talk about it more. I just also like to share one of the most recent discussions we've been having lately, that is to plan educational materials that are more experiential and that introduce social and cultural issues.
Maria, we can't hear you. We can't hear you. You are muted.
Me neither.
Okay.
Okay, so did you hear anything I've said?
Yeah, now we can. Yeah, we could hear the beginning.
Okay, that's cool. So no problem. So you've probably only missed the part of the actual plans and what we've been discussing lately. This is to develop additional educational materials that take a more experiential approach to introducing like social and cultural aspects that are relevant to students. We haven't decided the audience yet, but we've been discussing it lately, but we only know that we want to create material that the audience can relate to in a more easy way, in an easier way, and that are attractive, so that we can actually introduce anthropology as attractive as the discipline is. And Eleni I'll give the floor to her, if possible, to talk about the program in more depth.
Okay.
Eleni, would you like to add something about this?
Yes, I can give some.
Yes.
I can give some information about the program that we have already implemented. I was participated in the presentation of the program. I was not in the editorial board and the creative team. I was not a member in that team. But as Maria already mentioned, the title of the program was But What is Social Anthropology? We submitted the program in June 2021 in the Ministry of Education. And after 5 months, we take the approval to present this program in schools. and especially in the third class of secondary schools and the first and second class in the high school. The aim of the program was to familiarize the students with the subject of social anthropology and the related professional prospects of social anthropologists, and also to provide an introduction to the anthropological thinking. The program implemented in small groups of 30 students every time, with the classroom teacher and one or two members of SKAE, of one or two social anthropologists. We used the educational techniques as brainstorming, question and answers, PowerPoint presentation. And we have also the technical resources. And the learning outcomes of the program was that the students to be able to briefly describe what social anthropology is, to understand the professional opportunities of the anthropologist, and to recognize the importance of social anthropology in contemporary life. We also tried to cultivate some skills like empathy, self-observation, and observation in general, respect for diversity. And within 3 months, from February 2022 till May 2022, in Greece, all over Greece, we have visited 8 schools, 21 classes, and the program attended 491 students. And 2 of the presentations were remote. The most of the cities were in Athens, and some presentations took place on the island of Leros and Crete. We also faced some challenges, but I think that we can speak later about this.
Later, okay.
Okay.
So now we can hear something about Antonella. Which experiences are you doing, and which strategies? Have you something to add about this?
Okay, about this situation of the proliferation of courses in anthropology, I think one important strategy is to organize or to propose a common curricula of this undergraduate for the undergraduate courses of anthropology. And we are just initiating this discussion about what is important to have in a common curricula, so every course, even the online courses may have. We think that preparing in field work, for example, is something important, and how to deal with this, with the field work practice in online courses. This is a question we must deal with. But we are just initiating. The former commission have the job to list to find and have this to find all the courses in anthropology in Brazil, and now undergraduate courses, and now we are trying to initiate this discussion of a common curricula. And another strategy is about a question we are just facing for the last 2 decades, and it's a very important changement in the profile of the students in anthropology. The university in general, and it has to do with the affirmative action policies in university in Brazil, about these quota systems and other strategies of including Black students, indigenous students, low income students. We have a huge changement in the profile of our students, and it's very important what's happening in Brazil, because it's a decolonial strategy of all the courses, not only anthropology. But in anthropology, the strategy now is how to make our courses, the program of the courses, more acceptable, more related with the experiences of these students, because we teach anthropology here in Brazil in a very classical way and in a very colonizing curriculum, because we focus more in authors from United States, from England, from France, and not so much from Brazil. And now we are trying to decolonize this. It's a strategy we are doing. We are trying to decolonize this program of courses program, bringing authors, Brazilian authors, and Black scholars, with all these indigenous scholars, with all the repertoires bringing with their works.
Yes, it's very important to have a point of view, a plural, and we are discussing also a lot in the World Anthropology Union about world anthropologies, and not there is not one anthropology, but there are many world anthropologies. So Tian, would you like to add something about strategies and experiences you are doing, or would you like to do if?
Sure. From the Southern Africa perspective, just very practical sharings, because we don't have the luxury of going into high school. We don't have anthropology being offered as a subject in high school, and at undergraduate level, anthropology thinking is very much planted. It's only at postgraduate level that we really focus on doing independent research. So as an association, we can't change that. We don't have that power or resources. But what we can do is, and what we have been doing, is to really make our annual conference an opportunity for people to learn about anthropology and make it really cool. We do so by welcoming anyone coming from any discipline to join our conference, as long as they have elements of ethnography in their research. We are not rigid in selecting elite scholars. All undergraduate students, all postgraduate students, emerging scholars are very welcome to present their work alongside esteemed scholars at the conferences. And we make it really welcoming by making it affordable. We, as association, try to apply for we call National Bureau, a Conference Bureau funding to support these conferences, so it's affordable. And wherever students have difficulty coming to a conference, we try to work out a solution. Sometimes it's really about air tickets. We try to group them into a group of 10 so that they can take a bus to come to some, like Johannesburg area, for example. It's these practical methods to start with, and by hosting a very good conference, we find it really helpful for people to network and learn more about anthropology and commit to more research in the future. And another very effective way is to use the social media platforms effectively. For example, the use of hashtag. We ask all our participants at the conference to upload some form of celebration of their presentation, and hashtag. If you search for hashtag ASNA 2025, you will see all the conference celebrations. So it's just to make people feel like going to anthropology conference is a cool thing. And because we have such variety of topics, there is always something that interests someone else. So that is an affordable and effective way. Thank you.
Thank you, Tian. Now we can hear about Abhijit. We have not too much time left because we have also to discuss the additional question about the challenges. I would ask you as last question, which challenges we can face together. But before this, I want to listen to Abhijit about the strategies or experiences they are having in India. Please, I unmute you. Can you unmute yourself, Abhijit? Okay.
Is it okay?
Yes,
Can you hear me?
okay. Yes.
You can hear me? Yeah. So, as I have said, that
we don't see your face because we see the lower part of the face. Maybe the camera is not well focused. Anyway, we can hear you well. Thank you.
Now, can you see me now?
Yes, I can. We can hear
Okay,
you.
all right.
Go on. Don't worry.
Yeah, I'm here. So, as I have said already, that Indian Anthropological Society is already made its doors open to the students and to people from other disciplines to contribute in their seminars and conferences. This is one important way to make anthropology more effective and popular. Another way, I think, is we face a great challenge. In India too, anthropology was developed as a kind of colonial subject, and the language in which anthropology is still taught in the various universities and colleges is English. So, in India is a multilingual, multicultural country where we face a lot of difficulties with the students to express themselves uh, in a colonial language. That's a great problem for us. In our university, we once started a preparatory English course with an English professor uh, to make the students more, make the students easier with the language. And the books we read, the books we write, the books we study and refer to the students are all in English. Recently, very recently, some books in the vernacular. There is a movement now in India to practice anthropology in the vernacular. So that would be one of the important strategies in future for the Indian teachers, policymakers, and others to make anthropology more popular. The second important thing is that the students, I do not know of other countries what problems they are facing. Uh, Anthropology is a field-based subject too, but anthropology also needs a lot of reading. If you don't read a piece of ethnography, if the students are not acquainted uh, with the writings of the anthropologists, the classic writings by Malinowski, by Franz Boas, etc., then how would they really taste what anthropology is all about? So the learning of language and starting a good reading habit in anthropology would be our next important challenge. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Abhijit. Now I would address the last question to all of you, not asking everyone what challenges you are facing, because we have already touched this topic. But the question is what challenges we can face together. We are here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 associations. I represent also the WCAA task force on anthropological education and new audiences. So we are focusing on new audiences and education and new audiences. So this is a task force I chair. I began to chair 1 year ago. And also we are dealing with education in the Commission on Anthropology and Education. But we have started this conference also as a TAN. So we are starting from the Teaching Anthropology Network, we are trying to connect different associations and building a network. So I ask you what challenges we can face together, because this is this discussion, this roundtable is very important for us because it's in our planning to go on in this direction. So what can we do together for education? Trying to connect different associations. They don't need to work alone, because sometimes the solution they are looking for, you can find that solution in another country. So if we work together, it's easier. And so we, as EASA TAN, as World Anthropological Union, that means IUES, the International Union of Anthropological and Ethnological Sciences, and also the World Council of Anthropological Union. So if we work together, I feel that also when I work in TAN EASA, in Teaching Anthropology Network, if I look beyond Europe, I can find a lot of help in other countries, and above all also in World Anthropological Associations. That's my point of view, but it's also an offer for each association not to stay alone or face challenges alone, but we have to face them together. So I ask you how we can face these challenges together. So I ask the question. You can answer freely. You open your microphone. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Okay, I raise my hand.
Yes, Maria is helping me in coordinating. Thank you, Maria. So Antonella first, and then Lorenzo. Okay, Antonella, please.
Okay, thinking about a common strategy, I'm thinking about what Maria said about this idea, this strategy of promoting an anthropological perspective on education, not only pedagogical or psychological. And I think this is an important issue because in general, schools look for an anthropologist only if it's a school from indigenous people. Here in Brazil, if it's a indigenous school, an anthropologist is important to give an intercultural approach. But all the schools may have an intercultural approach. So I think this is an important goal for our network.
Yes, I fully agree with this because open minds in schools also outside of universities very important, and it's the best way to practice also exchange experiences. It's the best way to practice anthropology. So thank you, Antonella, for your suggestion. And now Lorenzo also.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Continuing on. I mean, for me, the school is an issue I like to work with. I think that probably again, I think there's somebody with the open mic.
A moment, I check if someone needs to be unmuted.
You can mute people, Giovanna.
Yes, yes, okay.
So the issue of teaching in schools, for example, I think one thing that could be done would be to figure out from representatives of the different countries who is teaching, who has, who is teaching anthropology in high school, and what are the contents, and how have they managed to get that course incorporated into curricula. That might give some ideas on how to adapt, or at least some starting points. Of course, in each country is going to be different, especially because I think that the way that anthropology is perceived differently, and also the way that, I think that here we are going to be facing issues of nation building, in terms of what is the place of the different peoples that inhabit a territory, and how they are incorporated differentially in the public imagination. I'm trying to be quite broad and abstract here. So I foresee that, whereas cultural studies and anthropology within a European context might have this sort of, might tap into some romantic issues about and feed off national self-images. In other countries, it might actually be that the anthropologist is usually marginalized to those groups of people that are marginalized in that particular country at the same time, which also has to do with what is the public image of anthropology, which usually goes behind what anthropologists actually do. I think that in many countries where there is a public image of anthropology, it is still, let's say, quite an old-fashioned one, and not up to date with anthropologists are currently doing. So I think, this is a multi-pronged strategy, whereas the public image of anthropology has to highlight.
Yes, wonderful.
One
Maria,
of-
you have raised your hand. Thank you, Lorenzo, for your contribution. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Maria?
Yes, no, that's okay. Yes, we had a comment that I should move to the camera, so this is why I moved. I hope you can see me. No, it's okay. It's okay.
There's still a problem with an open mic somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah, I pretty much agree with what Lorenzo said. I just wanted to add that in all countries, I think that there is a need to better connect the educational field with anthropology, not only school context, but in other contexts as well. And I think that we should offer, present what anthropology needs to give, but also be ready to receive what the educational sciences have to offer to us as well. And I think that maybe we can create some forms of exchange in terms of educational material we all have or we are developing, so that we have like a library of, let's say, good practices in how to make anthropology more attractive and more relevant. And this, I don't know, but maybe this could unlock some potential in some countries.
Okay. Maria, thank you for your contribution. Is there someone else who wants to add something to this?
I'm very aware of time. I will be very brief. So I think collaborations and organizing events to collaborate on organizing event would be really helpful. For example, last year at the World Anthropological Union Congress here, Giovanna organized one of the Hotlet, which is to bring people for a cultural experience at a restaurant setting where anthropologists from around the world and also non-anthropologists sit down together to explore issues around food and have a dining experience. So in this way, we make the subject really cool to other people and even cool to ourselves. And it's a great networking and promotion experience as well.
Yes, I think the experiences in the World Congress in South Africa about public anthropology were very, very interesting. We called them le Kotla. That means an assembly like a big laboratory in which the public was present and learned about anthropology. And in that occasion, we put together anthropologists and non-anthropologists, and it was wonderful. So we can continue these experiments, and it was very useful, sorry, okay, to see how non-anthropologists reacted, listening to the point of view of different anthropologists on, for example, on the theme of food or the theme of traditional medicine and so on. So I think two challenges are maybe 2 or 3 are very important. Secondary, the teaching outside the university, and you open a door that is very important for me because I worked for many years for the ministry, the Ministry of Education, and also exchanges in school. It's important to make anthropology. We have to make students touch anthropology thanks to exchanges. So it's important to exchange experiences between schools. So if each of you who is part of an association can help in put in contact schools, this can be the best way to begin with the students or also with the public. So this can be a challenge we can face together. And also, what else? Have you to add anything else? So I can add, we can support you in the World Anthropological Union. We can connect Teaching Anthropology Network with other associations. So we think that this discussion as a starting point is very, very important. So this experience can be shared with other associations. Thanks to this conference, we have an overview on many associations and the people, anthropologists who are in different associations, so we can contact them and we can offer this possibility, starting from this roundtable, to be part of a bigger network on education and new audiences, not only schools outside the universities, but also the general public. So two bigger challenges. Of course, the university is not out because the university can manage the situation and can enrich the situation. Yes, I worked a lot with universities every part of the world, but they were in contact with the schools and with the public. But surely also your university are doing this. So we can continue working on this direction. And you have to think that you are not alone. That there is just a small network, but the network can be bigger thanks your of your help if you want to continue on this. And thank you to all of you. First of all, for having this idea during this conference to focus on association and on what we can do together. Okay, thank you for your wonderful contributions. So we hope to see and to be in contact and in touch with you also in the future. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I hope to see you again.